Staff of the Guyana Elections Commission ignored concerns raised by most party agents and observers that their method to tabulate the votes from District 4 was unlawful, the Elections Commissioner of Inquiry heard on Monday. This is according to Rosalinda Rasul, who served as an elections observer for the American Chamber of Commerce Guyana for the March 2, 2020 general and regional elections, who took the stand at the COI on Monday. She told the Commission that she was present at the AmCham building from March 3rd to 5th, where suspicious events regarding the tabulation and declaration of the votes for Region 4 unfolded. On March 3rd, Rasul recounted that the tabulation and verification of the votes went largely unimpeded. The returning officer for Region 4, Claremont Mingo, had clearly identified how the process would unfold for the benefit of party agents and observers. But the concerning events, she said, started after Gecom officials were supposed to resume the count the next day. The count did not resume at 9 hours as scheduled, but agents and party members were eventually told that Mingo had fallen ill. As stakeholders awaited the resumption of tabulation and verification, Rasul recounted that Roxanne Myers, who was Gecom's Deputy Chief Elections Officer then, told those gathered in the AmCham's building that the decision was taken to limit the number of agents and observers present. Only 3 party agents and 2 observers' permission would be allowed. But the dubious events did not stop there. The count remained stalled, with Mingo receiving medical attention, but police presence at the AmCham's building heightened. And when the count resumed during the afternoon of March 4, Myers instructed the Gecom staff to start verifying votes from the East Bank Demerara sub-district.
Now, when Ms. Myers said that they would be restarting with East Bank Demerara, can you tell me what was the reaction of the people in the room?
It was met with a vehement objection from the political parties because they were claiming that the tabulation for Georgetown remains incomplete and it was not right for her or for Gecom to start the tabulation of another sub-district with one that is still outstanding.
Sure.
So one of the agents for the PPP indicated in her objection to that announcement of the tabulation commencing or resuming with the East Bank, said there were still 100 SOPs for Georgetown to be tabulated. But there was a lot of back and forth between Ms. Myers and those parties.
Did Ms. Myers say
she claimed that there were 3 SOPs for Georgetown that remained.
Okay.
With concerns raised, Myers promised to look into the incomplete verification of the Georgetown district. That, however, was never realized. Even then, the AmCham observer, who now serves as the head of the diaspora unit at the Foreign Affairs Ministry, said questionable activities continued. A spreadsheet containing unverified numbers, purportedly drawn from statements of polls, was now being used. Based on Guyana's law, the tabulation and verification of votes must be done using the SOPs. In this instance, however, a spreadsheet that was not shared with party agents or observers was relied on.
The 2 women were the only 2 at that point that were in the room, and they were not able to answer any of those questions, basically. So that was when the parties said that they need to get Mr. Lowenfield, the CEO, into that room to answer those questions.
Why do you say they were not able to answer those questions?
All the questions that were fielded to them evoked absolutely no response, and they said that they're just there to call the numbers.
I see. So did you then see at some point the CEO?
After a long time then, and I would say a long time because from the time that the objections were made, no one saw the CEO, which you would have thought that for some a spreadsheet to be inserted into the process, you would see a higher authority from Gecom there to say something, but he was not there.
The spreadsheet woes did not end there. What happened subsequently was that the votes on the document did not correspond with the figures on the SOPs obtained by a majority of the political parties. Rasul vividly recalled party agents from the People's Progressive Party Civic and the small parties contesting the elections, showing local and foreign observers figures from the SOPs that did not correspond with the spreadsheet figures. Only Basil Williams, who served as Attorney General under the APNO-AFC coalition government, had no objections with the spreadsheet. The count stopped that day but resumed on March 5, with Mingo eventually declaring unverified results for the region from a balcony in the Ashman's building. These suspicious events in Region 4 were among those that plagued the protracted March 2020 elections. COI hearings continued on Monday and will continue for the rest of this week. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Vishani Ragobeer.